ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ।
ਚੀਜ਼ਿਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ 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 ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ।
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ।
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ।
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ।
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ।
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ। ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ।
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ। ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ। ਹੋਏ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਦਇਆਲ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਠਾਕੁਰ।
ਹੋਏ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ
ਹੋਏ ਦਇਆਲ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਠਾਕੁਰ।
ਹੋਏ ਦਇਆਲ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਠਾਕੁਰ।
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨੰਤੀ।
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ।
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨੰਤੀ।
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨੰਤੀ।
ਹਰ ਅੰਤਰਜਾਮੀ ਸਭ ਬਿਦ ਜਾਣੇ। ਤਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਪੈ ਆਖ ਸੁਣਾਈਐ। ਤਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਪੈ ਆਖ ਸੁਣਾਈਐ। ਕਹਿਣੇ ਕਥਨ ਨਾ ਪੀਜੈ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ। ਹਰ ਭਾਵੈ ਪੈਜ ਰਖਾਈਐ। ਹਰ ਭਾਵੈ ਪੈਜ ਰਖਾਈਐ। ਅਵਰ ਓਟ ਮੈਂ ਸਗਲੀ ਦੇਖੀ।
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 ਇੱਕ ਤੇਰੀ ਓਟ ਰਹਾਈਐ।
ਇੱਕ ਤੇਰੀ ਓਟ ਰਹਾਈਐ।
ਇੱਕ ਤੇਰੀ ਓਟ ਰਹਾਈਐ। ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ।
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ। ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ।
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ
ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ
ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ।
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ
ਮਾਣ।
ਪ੍ਰਭ ਠਾਕੁਰ
ਹੋਏ ਦਇਆਲ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਠਾਕੁਰ
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨੰਤੀ
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬਿਨਤੀ
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬੇਨੰਤੀ
ਆਪੇ ਸੁਣੇ ਬਿਨਤੀ
ਪੂਰਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ
ਪੂਰਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ
ਪੂਰਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ
ਪੂਰਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ
ਸਭ ਚੂਕੇ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਚਿੰਤੀ
ਸਭ ਚੂਕੈ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਚਿੰਤੀ
ਸਭ ਚੂਕੇ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਚਿੰਤੀ
ਸਭ ਚੂਕੈ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਚਿੰਤੀ
ਹਰ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਅਵਖਦ ਮੁਖ ਪਾਇਆ
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 ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਖ ਵਸੰਤੀ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ
ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ
ਮਾਣ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ
ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ
ਨਚੀਜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਜਿਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਨਚੀਜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਜਿਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਨਚੀਜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਜਿਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਨਚੀਜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਜਿਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ
ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੋ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ
ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ
ਜੀਓ ਹਰ ਜੀਓ
ਹਰ
ਜੀਓ
ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਅੱਜ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਪਾਵਨ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਦਿਹਾੜਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਮੀਰੀ ਪੀਰੀ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਗਵਾਲੀਅਰ ਦੇ ਕਿਲ੍ਹੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਬੰਦੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ, ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ 52 ਰਾਜਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੰਦੀ ਰਾਜਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੰਦੀ ਛੁਡਾਈ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿਮੰਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ। ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਦੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੀਪਮਾਲਾ ਅਤੇ ਆਤਿਸ਼ਬਾਜ਼ੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਚਾਅ ਕੀਤਾ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬੰਦੀ ਛੋੜ ਹੈ, ਜੀਵਨ ਮੁਕਤ ਕਰਿਓ ਦੀਣਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਤੀ। 52 ਰਾਜੇ ਜੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੰਦੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਸਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਜੈ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਹੋਈ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਰਤਾਈ। ਇਹ ਅੱਜ ਪਾਵਨ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਦਿਹਾੜਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੇ ਭਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਮਨਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਭਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ ਗਾਵਿਆ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਰ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਦਰ ਘਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਭਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਥਾਂ ਪਾਉਣ, ਸਭਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖਣ, ਸੁਖ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨ। ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਖਿਮਾ, ਬੁਲਾਓ ਫਤਿਹ ਆਖੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹੁਣ ਅਗਲਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸਾਡੇ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਥਾ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਅੱਧਾ ਘੰਟਾ, ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 7 ਤੋਂ 8 ਫਿਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਲੇ ਪੰਜ ਪੀਰ, ਛਠਮ ਪੀਰ ਬੈਠਾ ਗੁਰ ਭਾਰੀ। ਅਰਜਨ ਕਾਇਆ ਪਲਟ ਕੇ ਮੂਰਤ, ਹਰ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਵਾਰੀ। ਚਲੀ ਪੀੜੀ ਸੋਢੀਆ, ਰੂਪ ਦਿਖਾਵਣ ਵਾਰੋ ਵਾਰੀ। ਦਲ ਪੰਜਨ ਗੁਰ ਸੂਰਮਾ, ਵਡ ਜੋਧਾ ਬਹੁ ਪਰ ਉਪਕਾਰੀ। ਚਲੀ ਪੀੜੀ ਸੋਢੀਆ, ਰੂਪ ਦਿਖਾਵਣ ਵਾਰੋ ਵਾਰੀ। ਦਲ ਪੰਜਨ ਗੁਰ ਸੂਰਮਾ, ਵਡ ਜੋਧਾ ਬਹੁ ਪਰ ਉਪਕਾਰੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। So, I can't put into words how blessed we are to be sitting here on this Friday evening. We could be anywhere else. We could be anywhere in the country. People here have come from outside of London, from the Midlands, but we have not brought ourselves here. The Guru has brought ourselves here to listen to the itihas, the history of the Guru, and the kirtan, the praises of the Guru. And we haven't come here just to listen to some kirtan, to listen to the katha and think, oh, that was nice, and then just go home. We've come here so that we can grow our love for the Guru, so we can listen to the teachings, understand more Gurbani, and very importantly, to implement these in our daily lives. So many of you may have heard the story of Bandi Chhor before, but hopefully if the Guru does kirpa, we can learn something new today, or it can just reiterate something that we've heard before. So we've only got half an hour to do it, so I ask for forgiveness from the Guru for attempting to even summarize this story in even half an hour. So this story of Bandi Chhor happened quite a few years before when the Guru exited the prison. So this happened when Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was just 9 years old. And the emperor at that time, Jahangir, they had a minister called Chandu Shah. And Chandu Shah's daughter had just turned 7 years old. So Chandu Shah thought, right, it's time to get my daughter married. He called some Brahmins, some Hindu priests, and he said, I want you to go across all the lands and find someone suitable for my daughter. He said, I want them to be good looking, to have a lovely form. I want them to be wealthy. I want them to have good qualities. And I want them to come from a family who's got a very high social status. So these Brahmins went across all the villages, all the cities, and eventually they came across the house of Guru Nanak. They came across Guru Arjan Dev Ji and their son, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And he thought, that's it. We found the perfect match, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. So they went back to Chandu Shah and said, we found somebody, they're from the house of Guru Nanak. And this completely insulted Chandu Shah. They said, the house of Guru Nanak. How can you compare our family to theirs? They say we are the top brick in a house, right next to the roof. They are like a family around the gutters, the sewers. But even after saying this, Chandu Shah said that I have to submit, that I have to accept this a marriage proposal, because if people found out we rejected the recommendation of a Hindu priest, of a Brahmin, then our reputation would suffer. People would start saying things. But the Sangat overheard what Chandu Shah was saying. And they all begged Guru Arjan Dev Ji, please do not accept this marriage proposal. They did so much nindya, they did so much slandering of the Guru's house. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji, they listened to the Sangat and they rejected the proposal. Chandu Shah, when they heard about this, they were livid. And just to summarize, their anger then led them to be responsible for Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Shahidi, for their sacrifice. They tortured them. And when the Sangat found out what happened to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the pain, the suffering that the Sangat felt, you can't put into words. The tears that were flowing through that city, the cries that could be heard for miles, you can't put a description to those. And when Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji found out what happened to their father, they asked the 5-6 who were with Guru Arjan Dev Ji in their last moments, they said, what did the Guru tell me? What was the message for me? And it's written in Suraj Prakash Grantha that one of those 6, called Bhai Pirana Ji, they said, Guruji told us, Shastan Taran Karke. So they say, now you have to adorn the sword. You have to pick up the sword now. They say, Takhta utte baitho. You need to sit on the throne now. And they say, Yatha Shakti Anusar Apne Sena Rakho. They say now that you need to grow an army. And the other thing they said was that you need to get now justice on Chandu Shah. You need to show them justice. So over those coming years, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji started growing their army. They started wearing the sword. And it wasn't just one kirpan, it was 2 kirpans. Ek meeri di, ek peedi di. One to represent the political, the worldly power, and the other to represent spiritual power. They didn't have just one Nishan Sahib, they had 2 Nishan Sahibs. They didn't have just one horse that they would ride with, they would actually have 2 horses. Because Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, they were over 7 foot tall. And they were built, pure muscle. They were so heavy that after riding a horse for some while, the horse would get tired. And they would have to switch horse. And they started to sit on the throne and be like a king. And as this was happening, they said to everybody, I'm going to get justice on Chandu Shah. And at the same time, over the same amount of years, Chandu Shah spent their years in worry for 2 reasons. Number 1, they thought that if anybody found out that I was responsible for the death of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, I don't know what's going to happen to me. So they paid all the ministers to make sure that everybody said Guru Arjan Dev Ji passed away from stomach illness. And they said that if the torture did come up into conversation, not to link my name to it. And the second thing they were worried about was now that Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was going to get revenge on me. They were going to come and kill me. So they thought 2 things. They said, I'm going to make Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji either marry my daughter still, because they had actually had a lot of disrespect in their family because their daughter still being unmarried after being proposed. Or they said out of fear of what happened to their father, they'll become friends with me and this conflict will go. So they spoke to their wife. And they said to their wife, this is what I'm going to do. And their wife said, give up your arrogance, give up your ego. You've tried to do this with harsh words by force. You need to send some servants to humbly request the Guru to marry our daughter. So Chandu Shah said, all right, fine, I'll write a letter. In that letter, they said, your father, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, had so much animosity towards me, just from hearing what people were saying without any evidence. They said, what's happened has happened. What I want you to do is to take my daughter as your servant, marry her with dignity, and this union we will have, it will bring peace to us. It will get rid of all this conflict. But they said, keep in your mind that if you don't agree to this, your father insulted me, they called me a dog. And I retaliated, and I did not stop until I eliminated them. So they sent their messengers to go give this letter to Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And shortly afterwards, the messengers came back, and they told Chandu Shah what was said. The messenger said, when we got to the place where Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was residing, a Sikh told us they weren't even there. They were out hunting. And when they came back, they sat on a throne. They had so many swords on them. They were surrounded by horses, by warriors. It was like they were a king. They said, when did they give up this attire of a saint? And they said that I know what Chandu Shah did to my father. You need to tell Chandu Shah his time is coming to an end. He should gather strength because I'm going to come for him. Chandu Shah hearing this, they thought for a little while, and they thought, right, I'm going to spend all my money now to make sure Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji gets captured, and whilst they're in captivity, I'm going to kill them. So Chandu Shah now goes to Jahangir, the emperor that I mentioned earlier on. They try to fill their ears now with lies, with deception, telling them that Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji is building an army now to fight you. That they're growing their warriors day by day without your permission. That this saintly attire of the Guru before is no longer the case. They're trying to think they're a king, they're trying to compare themselves to you. And he paid all the ministers, Chandu Shah paid all the ministers to agree with him. So all of their advisors now for the emperor was telling them the same thing. But Jahangir had doubt in their mind because they actually had a lot of love for the Guru, for what the Guru did for them and their elders. They said to the ministers, don't do anything until I tell you. The next day they spoke to one of their other ministers called Wazir Khan, and they were the devotee of the Guru. And he explained everything, and the Wazir Khan said, do you really think that the house of the Guru that spent so much money on the Sarovar, the sacred pool, on Sri Harmandir Sahib, on making langar for everybody, that bring peace to both Muslims and Hindus and Sikhs, do you really think that this is what they're doing? That Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, that brings bliss to their devotees, is this what you think they're doing? And Wazir Khan recommended, he said, look, if Guruji does want to fight, ask them to come here. If they don't want to fight, they'll come. If they do, they won't come and we'll send our armies there. So Jahangir said to Wazir Khan, you're so wise, I actually want you to go to Guruji. So Wazir Khan goes to Guruji, and Guruji sees them, and they say, why have you come? Wazir Khan says that the emperor is waiting for you. They've been waiting for days. They've sent for me to come and get you. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji said, so you want me to go to the palace of Jahangir in the same way my father went, but somehow ended up in the house of Chandu Shah and was tortured and then left this world? Wazir Khan said that same Chandu Shah is now spreading lies about you. They're claiming you want to overthrow the king, the emperor. They said, why don't you come and you can get rid of all this doubt and then we can punish Chandu Shah. So eventually Guruji agrees and they come to Delhi. And when they meet Jahangir, Jahangir shows them so much respect, so much love. But seeing the Guru in this new form, different to the previous forms, they had doubt in their mind now. They're saying, what is this attire of a warrior? So they thought we're going to test them. They said to them that Guruji, the Muslims and the Hindus each say that their path is the best, that their path is good, other people are bad. Theirs is the best way. Tell us which is the correct way. Guruji said that I only recognize one creator. Those that praise that creator, that remember that creator, they are the greatest. And we hear this as well in Sri Sukhmani Sahib. Guru Arjan Dev Ji tells us, Sarva dharma meh shreshth dharma, har ko naam jap nirmal karma. They say Sarva dharma meh, of all the dharmas, of all the paths, the shreshth dharma, the highest one, is har ko naam jap. When you remember, you jap the name of Har, of that one, and nirmal karma. You do pure actions. And they said, don't forget the words of Bhagat Kabir Ji. They say, Ek noor te sab jag upjaya, kaun pale ko mande. They say, from that Ek noor, that one light, this whole jug upjaya, it was created. So they said, kaun pale, who's good, ko mande, and who's bad. And hearing this, Jahangir knew that it's just the external form that's changed. Inside, they're still the same Guru as the previous 5 Gurus. And they said to Guruji, please spend more time with me. And Jahangir and Guruji went out hunting one day because it was both their activities that they were fond of. And Jahangir was so impressed with the skills of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And remember, they were still young yet. And whilst they were on an elephant one day, there was news that a lion was in the forests and they were going to attack people. So Jahangir said, let's go in that direction. And as they were walking and they were going in the forest with that elephant, the lion came out of nowhere and it gave such a powerful roar that the warriors, they all started running. The animals, they were so scared they couldn't even move. They couldn't even control their bladder, and the horses, they started urinating. Jahangir said, Guruji, you need to save us. You need to do something because we're all going to die. The lion's going to eat us. So Guruji got off the elephant and they approached the lion slowly and calmly. And that lion gave another roar. and it spread its body wide, and it started to come towards the Guru. The Guru with their shield hit them once, moved them back, and with their other sword, they hit them so hard with a strike, with a blow, it completely split open the stomach of that lion. And as that lion was now breathing its last breath, there was a great light that came. And Jahangir said, "What is this creature? What's happening here?" This light, this spirit, then spoke. Guruji said, ask them who they are. And this spirit they spoke, they said, "My name is Qasim Beg. I used to be in my previous life with Emperor Akbar, and we went to go see Guru Amar Das Ji. When we went to go see Guru Amar Das Ji, Emperor Akbar, they were praising the Guru, they were worshipping the Guru, and that made me so angry. Why are they worshipping somebody from a different faith, a Sikh?" And what happened is, he said, "I started to spread so much slander. I started saying so many harsh things about Guru Amar Das Ji. And on that night, when I set up camp in Goindwal, my stomach started to get intense pains. And it was because I'd eaten meat without it being fully cooked. And as a result, I passed away. But in my last moments, I remembered Guru Amar Das Ji. So what happened is, I then took the form of a lion. And I've been wandering around these forests in this life form in this June. But because in my last moments, I remembered Guru Amar Das Ji, I was blessed, and Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji found me, and now they've liberated me by killing me." When Jahangir heard this, they were so shocked. They were in so much awe of the greatness of the Guru that all they did is just praise them. And so both Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji and Jahangir started to spend a lot of time together. But this was to the annoyance of Chandu Shah. They're thinking, this Guru is meant to be my enemy. He's spending so much time, he's developing a friendship with the emperor. And every day, the Guru is becoming more prosperous because Jahangir is giving 500 rupees every day to the Guru. And now we may think, 500 rupees is nothing. That's like a couple of samosa on the street. But if you look at, I looked online, 500 rupees now, if you were to equate that to today's currency, it's around 100,000 rupees. Right? So that's a lot of money back then. So Chandu Shah thinks, right, I've got to come up with another plan now. So they go to an astrologer. And they say to this astrologer, they said, "What I want you to do is to go to the emperor, Jahangir, and tell them now that Saraswati is now come upon them." This is a term in astrology where the planet of Saturn moves into the horoscope of somebody for 7.5 years. And he said, "Tell Jahangir that now you're under the influence of Saraswati, you're going to go through so much dukh now, such a time of suffering, and many people die with this." And he said that you need to tell them the only way to get rid of this is by getting Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji to go into a prison and to meditate for 40 days on whatever, in the name of God. Har, Allah. They need to meditate for 40 days. The astrologer said, "Don't worry, leave it to me. The emperor listens to me." The astrologer goes to the emperor, and they look really sad, really depressed, deliberately so that the emperor could ask what was up. And they said, "What's up?" And the astrologer said, "Unfortunately, Saraswati is now overtaking your life. You're going to have so much pain, and the likelihood is that you're going to die. But I've got a remedy. You need someone from the Sodhi lineage to go into the Gwalior fort, this prison, for 40 days, bathe 3 times a day, and do a job. Then the effects of Saraswati will then go away. The effect of this astrology phenomenon, it will go away." And as he's saying this, Chandu Shah and the ministers come in, and Chandu Shah says to the ministers, "Go suggest Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji," because they are from the Sodhi lineage. And they suggest Guruji, and Jahangir says, "No, how can I make the Guru go into a prison? I'm not disrespecting the Guru like that." But the ministers and Chandu Shah said, "If you asked us to go into prison for you, we would do it in an instant." And the Guru is so benevolent, whatever the word is. They're so kind, they're so loving that they will do that as well. They wouldn't even have to think twice, that they would go in for you. And they'd instilled the fear of death so much in Jahangir that Jahangir agreed. Jahangir went to Guruji, and they looked so sad, and Guruji said, "Where is that glow that was on your face before?" And they said, "Guruji, I need you to go into the prison. I need you to go into prison for 40 days and do a job. Otherwise, this Saraswati is going to overtake me and I'm going to die." Guruji knew that Jahangir had been deceived, that they've been tricked. But Guruji said to them, they said, if this is for your health, for your benefit, then I will go. So Jahangir wrote a letter to the head of the prison there. Their name was Bhai Hardas Ji. And Bhai Hardas Ji was such a devotee of the Guru, they used to remember them all the time, they used to praise them all the time, but they could never see the Guru. Because of their job of looking after the prison, they weren't even allowed a certain distance away from the prison. They had to make sure that the prisoners didn't escape, that everything ran smoothly, and they could never ever see the Guru. But just like Guru Arjan Dev Ji says in their Bani, Mera man lochai Gur darsan tai, that in my mind I have that yearning to see the Guru. Bilp kare chatrik ki nyai, that I cry out like that songbird, just yearning for that one drop of rain. And like Bhai Gurdas Ji says, Charan saran gur ek penda jai chal, sat gur kot penda aage hoy let hai. Meaning that if we take ek penda, one step towards the Guru will take millions of steps. And this is what Bhai Hardas Ji did. They would always remember the Guru. They would take that step to do Simran. In that same way, if we make any step towards the Guru, whether we listen to Katha, whether we listen to Kirtan, whether we spend time in Sangat, whether we remember the Guru as well will come. They will send their Sangat. So when Bhai Hardas Ji realized that the Guru is now coming to the prison, they had so much joy in their heart. And if we look at who else was in the prison, there were 52 kings that were put in there unjustly, without reason. And the state of those kings was unbearable. They weren't allowed baths. They had hair lice in their hair, in their head, dropping down into their beards. They weren't allowed to cut their hair. It was overgrowing. They barely had anything to eat. They had shackles on their ankles, digging into their skin. Their clothes were ripped. They weren't given new clothes for years. They hadn't seen their family, their parents, their spouses, their children. They hadn't seen their homes. And when they heard that the Guru had now arrived, just hearing the word Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji felt like they'd already been freed. This prison was known that it was a one-way ticket. Once you went in there, you weren't coming out. So every day, 500 rupees were sent still to the prison so that Guruji could use them in any way fit. And Guruji would use this to make langar. They would feed the sangat. They would feed the prisoners there. They would feed the kings there. They would make kada prasad every single day. Anything left over would be given to the surrounding areas. They brought comfort to the kings. And Chandu Shah, they were so happy now that the Guru was in captivity. They were in this prison. And now they had to come up with a plan to now kill them whilst in prison. So Chandu Shah wrote a letter to the head of the prison, Bhai Hardas Ji. And he said that I'm going to send my best men. They're going to come and they're going to make something. They're going to make this robe that is going to be infused with potent poison. And he said that I want you to put it on Guruji, and as soon as he puts it on, he's going to die. And if you do this, I'm going to give you 5,000 rupees. I'm going to make your honor go so high with the emperor. I'm going to give you villages as reward. We're going to become friends. We'll create a bond. But of course, Bhai Hardas Ji was a Sikh of the Guru. They said, I'm not going to partake in this sin. And they sent the messengers back. So now Chandu Shah thought, what do I do now? What I'll do is I'm going to make everybody forget about the Guru. So they paid all the ministers to make sure that nobody mentions Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And in that way, the emperor will forget. And if they do raise their name, then they should say that Guruji is receiving 500 rupees every day. He's spending it, he's in bliss, he's enjoying his time there. There's no need to release them. So 40 days had now passed. And the 5-6 that had actually gone with Guruji to the prison, they had a meeting. And they said, we need to do something. They said, Chandu Shah and the ministers are poisoning the mind of Jahangir, the emperor. That we need to do something. We need to take it into our own hands. So 2 of the 6, Bhai Jetha Ji and Bhai Pirana Ji, they went to the palace of Jahangir and they snuck in. And they took on the form of lions. This is using their spiritual powers. And we may think, oh, spiritual powers, this is only things we see in movies. But about 8 years ago, I saw someone use spiritual powers myself when I was in India. And this was before I got into Sikhi. And when I saw that, I realized that there's more to this world that we can see with our own eyes. And so they took on this form of the lion and they put their claws on top of Jahangir when he was asleep. Jahangir woke up and he started shouting, so what's going on here? And he thought that this was the Saraswati curse now. And he shouted for Guruji. He said, Guruji, save me in the same way that you saved me from the other lion. And Guruji, they can hear the calls of everybody. In an instant, Guruji appeared there and he pushed away those lions. Once those lions had been pushed away, by Jethaji and by Piranaji, they assumed their human form again. And they said to Jahangir, they said, that Guru that saved you, you forgot about them. The next day, Jahangir calls all the astrologers from all over the land, trying to figure out what happened. He explained the story to them. Some of them said that it must have been a dream. Others said, you know what? This is the work of spirits. You need to increase the security. You need to put more guards in the entrance. You need to make sure all your room is checked out. You need to put cages with metal wires to make sure nothing can get in. So that night, they increased the security. But when they fell asleep, again, the lions came, put their claws again on his chest. And again, he woke up screaming for the Guru. Guru, you are my protector. Please come and save me. The Guru came again, pushed away those lions. And again, they assumed their human forms. And they said to Jahangir, they said, in the nighttime, out of fear, you call for the Guru. You want the Guru to be nearby. But in the daytime, you desire your Guru to be far away in the prison. So the following day now, instead of astrologers, Jahangir called all the physicians, all the healers around the land. But no one could figure out what was wrong. But by Jethaji, they disguised themselves as a physician, as a healer. And he comes to Jahangir. And just before Jahangir tells them what happened, Bhai Jethaji says, stop. I will tell you everything that happened. I can see from your face what you've been through. He says, but I'll tell you in private. Come to the side. Bhai Jethaji then explains everything that happened to Jahangir. And of course he's going to know because he did it. Jahangir, hearing this, thought, you are a true healer. I beg you, please tell me, what's the cure? I can't bear this. I'm going to get eaten by the lions. Bhai Jethaji said, you put the Guru in that prison for 40 days. You deceived them. You've kept them there. 40 days have passed. Did you once ask how the Guru was? So the only way to get rid of this fear, is to release the Guru immediately. So Jahangir sent messengers to tell the Guru that you can come out now. And when the messengers went there, the Guru said, I'm okay here. I'm remembering the name of God. I'm in meditation. I'm bringing sukh. I'm bringing peace to these kings. I don't need to come back. The messengers go back and tell Jahangir. Jahangir thinks maybe the Guru thinks I'm lying or I'm trying to come up with this crazy plan. They then tell Wazir Khan. They say, Wazir Khan, you go get the Guru. Wazir Khan goes to the Guru and asks the Guru, Har Gobind Sahib Ji, that come back now. You're being released. And the Guru said, they said, there's a barrier now. He said, I've come here and I've given some kind of peace to these kings. These kings have taken refuge in me. And when someone takes refuge in me, I will never let go of their hand. Those kings that have said, Sri Har Gobind Sahib Ji, Hon mein tera yahan. I can't let go of them. You go tell Jahangir, either all of us come out, or I'm going to stay in here. Wazir Khan goes back to Jahangir and tells them. Jahangir says, I can't let those kings out. We spent so much money, so much time. We lost so many soldiers trying to capture those kings. If I let them out, they're going to ruin my land. They're going to cause havoc. But they said, what can I do? Wazir Khan said, remember your health. Remember that fear you have, those lions. And Jahangir said, okay, they can take a few. And he said they can take as many that can hold onto their robe, thinking that could be 5 or 6. Wazir Khan then goes and tells the Guru. The Guru then tells their Sikhs, they said, prepare my robe now. I want you to make 50 palle on them. 50 of them coming out of my robe. And when the king's here now, that Guruji is now going to leave and they're going to take us with them, They are so overjoyed. They thought they were never ever going to get out. So Guruji put on their robe, they put on their shastra, they look so beautiful. And now those kings start grabbing onto those palle. The problem was, though, that there was only 50 palle and there's 52 kings. So as they're rushing about to try and grab the palle, Guru Hargobind Sahib is saying, holy, holy, slowly, slowly grab them. And 2 of them are left out. And the prison guards tell those 2, so there's nowhere for you to hold. Where are you going to go? Step away from the Guru. You're meant to stay here and continue suffering. And those 2 kings, they said to Guruji, Guruji, please don't leave us. We'd rather die than stay here. Kill us now if you're not going to take us. You are our protector. You are the master of the masterless. Patit udaran pe haran, har anath ke nath. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Sahib tells us, Patit udaran, they save the sinners. Pe haran, they destroy the fear. Har anath ke nath, that they are the master of the masterless. And Guruji tells them, they say, there's 2 spaces here for you on my sleeves. And they grab those sleeves. And now they start to walk out. And if we just look, Guruji put themselves in the prison. They knew the kings were suffering. And sometimes when people are suffering around us, we can reflect, how can we help them? Sometimes we have to go into their dukh. Sometimes you have to go and feel what they're feeling in order to be able to help them. This is what the Guru did. News spread now across all the lands that Guruji and all the kings were going to get released. Thousands of people gathered. And Guruji, they walked out with all those 52 kings. And before Guruji went to Amritsar, they stopped up for a few places. And as they reached Amritsar, all the Sangat lit dive, lit candles all over the city. And this was the same day as Diwali. And sometimes we think, oh, we can't say Diwali, we have to say Bandi, Chhor. But if you look at the meaning of what Diwali means, the actual origin of the word, it means row of lights. So yes, you can associate row of lights with the story in the Hindu Dharma, which is still a story of the victory of good over bad, of good over evil, of light over darkness. But we can also associate the row of lights with that row of lights that the Sangat set for Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji when they returned. And if we look at what happened to Chandu Shah was severely tortured. They were dragged around Lahore with a chain around their neck, and they were beaten by any people who were seeing them. And eventually, somebody hit them with a metal ladle so hard that it caused them to die. So if we just reflect that today, many of us light dive, many of us light lamps. And yes, it's a fun thing to do, and sometimes they smell nice, but we need to reflect, what are we actually doing here? What does it represent? And if you look at Amritsar, when they didn't have the Guru for that long, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was away. For them, it was darkness. And we hear in Gurbani what it is to be without the Guru. They say, Je sau chanda ugvaha. If 100 moons were to arise, Suraj chade hajar, and 1,000 suns were to rise as well. Ete chanan hondeya, even with this light, Gurbin, without the Guru, kor andar, is pitch blackness. The Guru is the light in our lives. Look at the word Guru. Guru. Gu, darkness. Ru, light. That's what the Guru does for us. And if you look at what Guruji says about Dive, they say, Diva mera naam hai. That the Diva, that naam, that ek naam, Diva mera ek naam, that is my lamp, the name of that one. And they say, how do I light it? Dukh vich paya tel. They say that the tel, the oil they use for that lamp, is their dukh. And many of us sitting here, although we may be putting on brave faces, many of us are struggling with our own dukh, with our own suffering. Some of us unbearable suffering. And the Guru is telling us here, use that suffering to remember the one, to remember your Guru. That's the tel. Dukh daru, sukh rog paya. That dukh is actually the medicine. When we're in sukh, when we're in happiness, that's when we forget the one, we forget the Guru. The Guru is telling us, use that dukkha to remember the Guru. That Diwali is about allowing that Guru to light up our lives, to be the light that never extinguishes. So please forgive me for the many mistakes I've made. Lekha katahana chutiya, khin khin pulanahar, baksanahar baksale, nanak par utar. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Okay, I'll have to remind everyone on the rule. So when you hear a fateh, you have to respond to the fateh. Because when I do the fateh, Vaheguru looks at me. But you're the Sangat here. I want Vaheguru to look at all of you. So you need to respond to the fateh. So when I say Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, you all respond with it. So we're going to try again. Make sure everyone's awake. So let's start again. Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. That's a lot better. Vaheguru is definitely looking at you now. Very thankful to Guru Charan Singh for the beautiful katha he did on Bandi, Chhor, Divas. We're now joined by Kirtan, but while they're setting up, I'd just like to remind everyone also that today is also a very painful day for the Sikh community because 40 years ago we had the genocide in India. It's something we shouldn't remember, but it also ties in to the story of Diwali, to the story of Bandi Chhor Divas, that we fight for justice, we fight for what's right. We don't stand aside whenever there's any wrongdoing happening. For that, people may hate you. Those who seek to create division in the world, they won't like those who look to unify. They don't like the concept of langar, concept of people eating together. They will be divisory. But what you have, all of you have, is that gift to unite people. Because genocide can only happen wherever it happens in the world through hatred. So take that light of Diwali in your soul and be that beacon against hatred. Create a positive aura wherever you go and don't put up with hate. You will hear it, you will run into people who have hatred. Be that light, be that aura that can help take them away from hate. Okay, I think Jagdeep Kaur and Amritpal are ready. Yes? So enough of me. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
गुरु प्यारी साध संगत जी फतेह प्रवान करनी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की fateh. Before we begin, I'd like to ask all of the Sangat that are sitting down to just come forward as much as I can, just to make space for Sangat that are arriving for the next hour or so. Thank you. And this Shabad we're about to recite is Mat Dekh Pula Visre. Tera Chit na Ave now. And here Guru Maharaj is telling us that there are so many things in the world that draw us away from ourselves, that draw us away from our divinity, that draw us away from our Guru. And here Guru Maharaj are in a conversation with their mind. They're saying, don't fixate yourself on these things. When I see these things, I'll forget you. So I don't wish to see any of these things. All I wish is to be with Guru Maharaj. My Veer very eloquently put the Sakhi of Bandi, Chhor, Divas about the empathy and compassion of Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And these 52 kings, these 52 nobles, they had everything in their kingdom. They had all these things. They had the rubies, they had all of the possessions you can imagine. They had enough food for themselves to last forever, most likely. But they still needed the sanctuary, they still needed the Palla of Guru Maharaj to help them through their troubles. We are no different. We will always be chasing after that new car, the new house. I want to get settled and find a spouse. I want to get these grades in my exam. I want this job. There's always going to be the next thing to go and grasp for, to go and find. And that's fine. This is the world that we live in. We need those things. We need to know how to attain those things for comfort. But those things ultimately don't grant us comfort. If you don't have peace within your mind, if you don't have something good to follow, if you don't have the support of Guru Maharaj, those things will mean nothing. You will always be restless even if you attain every single one of those. मत देख भूला विसरे, मत देख भूला विसरे, मत देख भूला विसरे, मत देख भूला विसरे, तेरा चित न आवे ना, तेरा चित न आवे ना, मत देख भूला विसरे, जपो मत देख भूला विसरे, तेरा चित न आवे ना, तेरा चित न आवे ना, मत देख भूला विसरे, मत देख भूला विसरे। जल पर जाओ जियो जल पर जाओ जपो जी हर बिन जियो जल पर जाओ जियो जल बल मैं अपना गुर पूछ देखिया मैं अपना गुर पूछ देखिया अवर नाही था अवर नाही था मत देख पूरा विसरे मत देख पूरा चित नया वैना तेरा चित नया वैना मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे सिद्ध होवा सिद्ध लाई सिद्ध होवा सिद्ध लाई रीतिया दिया गुपत पर गट होए पैसा गुपत पर गट होए पैसा लोक राखे लोक राखे पाओ मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नया वैना जपो जी तेरा चित नया वैना मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे सुल्तान होवा मेर लस कर सुल्तान होवा मेर लस कर हुक्म हासिल करी बैठा हुक्म हासिल करी बैठा नानका सब नानका सब मत देख भूला विसरे जपो मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नया तेरा चित नया मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे मत देख भूला विसरे That Shabad was taught to me by my father-in-law, Bhai Gurdayal Singh Rasia ji. Ever supportive, ever encouraging. I couldn't have asked for any more. This next Shabad is from Bhai Gurdas Ji Adivara. And here Bhai Gurdas Ji, they're looking at the Nazare, they're looking at what's happening around them. It's around the time of Diwali and they're looking at how the lamps are being lit for Diwali. And the same way that the lamps are being lit on the ground, if you look up to the sky, the stars are lighting up the sky. And people take offerings from their gardens, offerings of flowers to lay at the feet, to decorate their homes. And there's people that are going on pilgrims, and the things that are seen and unseen at this time of year. They're saying, I feel that this Shabad really is an expression of awe, of the beauty of the devotion of all the people, and how lucky that one flower might be to be plucked and to be offered to the Guru Sahib, to be offered to Guru Maharaj. And how lucky we are. And the pilgrim isn't only a physical pilgrim, it's not just to go to Guru Maharaj, it's not just to come to the Gurudwara. You take this with you. You close your eyes, you go on a pilgrimage. You don't need to be walking somewhere. You can have that moment at any time. And we've been given this gift. We've been given this gift of Nam, and that's exactly what it is. You recite Nam, you close your eyes, you focus inwards. And it will take you to where you need to be. You think you need to work hard to go to where you want to be. You try sitting down for 5 minutes and doing Nam Simran without another thought, polluting your mind, trying to draw you away. There's that bill to pay. There's that person I didn't text back. You know, what am I going to have for dinner? All of those thoughts that come and wander in and out, they're just distractions. And it's okay to have distractions, but we have to know how to anchor ourselves, bring ourselves back into Nam, because that's where the Tirth is. That's where the pilgrimage actually is. It's within us. We don't need to go. We can't afford a plane ticket to go on yatra. It doesn't matter. You don't need a plane ticket to go on yatra. You have everything given to you as you are, as we are right now. We have it all. We just have to know that we have it all. That in itself is empowering. And then knowing how to access it is empowering. And that's what we're given. We're given Nam, we're given Gurbani, we're given Sangat. We have all of it. We have it all. We don't need to look for it any longer.
गुरमुख सुख
The final Shabad for this evening is a Shabad penned by Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and again taught to me by my father-in-law, by Gurdayal Singh Ji Rasia. Har jiyo nimanaya tu maan, nichijya cheej kare mera gobind, teri kudrat ko kurban. Here Maharaj speaks to us and tells us, Har jiyo, my beloved, nimanaya tu maan, those who have no honor, that have nothing to their name, that have no intellect even, that have absolutely nothing, they still have Guru Maharaj. Nichijya cheej kare mera govind, teri kudrat ko kurban. Even those who are unworthy, you make them worthy. We don't need to burden ourselves with becoming something, with staying as something, with not changing, with only ever improving. I think that's been one of the worst, I would almost say, illnesses of our time this day, is that it's all new age. It's all about well-being. It's all about, you can have bad days. It's okay to have bad days. As our Veed before us had very clearly explained, Dukh daru sukh rog paya. So through the pain, through the suffering, then we turn inward, then we turn to Guru Maharaj. Without that gift, and it is a gift, we will never understand what joy is, because joy and pain or suffering are both sides of the same coin. We live in a world of Maya, we live in a world of duality. All we need to know is how to connect to the only thing that is true, and that is Gurbani. And in the same way as Sheve Badshah, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji had released those 52 prisoners, we have to ask ourselves, we may not be imprisoned within a prison, a physical prison, but we may be imprisoned in the prison of our own mind, that we're not good enough, or that we're too good even, that we need to be like this or we need to be like that we need to judge another person for not being the way that I think they should be. Let them be. All of these things imprison us. They stop us from being genuine. We become disingenuine. We become disconnected. We forget that we are part of that ik of ik oankar. So maybe ask yourself tonight, what is it? What is it that imprisons me? What is it that binds me? What is it that stops me from being all that Guru Maharaj wished for me to be? And of course, even if we don't know what that might be, we can still do Benti, we can still do Ardas to Guru Maharaj, or whatever it might be that I don't need. Please help me put it down, even if it's just for a moment. If I'm holding a grudge, please help me dissolve that grudge, because it imprisons us. It stops us from progressing. It stops us from being as wonderful as we actually are. That thing that you did many years ago that you may not have even told anyone about, forgive yourself. It's okay. Maharaj Jani Janya. They know everything. They know our deepest desires. They know the very thing that we don't want anyone to know. They know everything. There's nothing to hide from Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj may be the one and only that will listen to your benti, that won't judge you, that will take you and embrace you. And in here, in this Shabad, we have Jaisa Balak Pai Sapai Lakh Aparad Kamave Kar Upades Chadke Bahopati Bahod Pita Galalave. Within this very Shabad, they explain to us, just like we are children, we will make mistakes. We will make many, many, many mistakes. I've made many sitting on this stage already. And Guru Maharaj, just like a parent would, just like the father figure would in our homes or in our lives, there's a very different dynamic of a father, you know, when you think of good cop and bad cop. The father is to be stern, but also supportive. We make mistakes, and if we're lucky enough to have such a father figure in our lives, we know what Guru Maharaj's love will also look like. And if we don't have that in our lives, we can seek that from Guru Maharaj. निमाणिया तू मान हर जियो निमाणिया तू मान नीची जिया चीज करी मेरा गोविंद तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान नीची जिया चीज करी मेरा गोविंद तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान हर जियो निमाणिया तू मान हर जियो निमाणिया तू मान जैसा बालक पैस पाई लख अपराध कमावे जपो जी जैसा बालक पैस पाई लख अपराध कमावे करि उपदेश चीज करे मेरा गोविंद, तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान। हर जियो निमानिया तू मान। हर जियो निमानिया तू मान। हरि अंतर जाने सब बिद जाने, ताकिस पे आँख सुनाइए। जपो जी। हरि अंतर जाने सब बिद जाने, ताकिस पे आँख सुनाइए। कहने कथन न पीछे गोविंद, हर पावे पैच रखाइए। जपो जी। कहने कथन न पीछे गोविंद, हर पावे पैच रखाइए। अवर ओट में सगली देखी, एक तेरी ओट रहाइए। जपो। अवर ओट में सगली देखी, एक तेरी ओट रहाइए। एक तेरी ओट रहाइए। एक चूके मन की चिंता वाहिगुरु पूरा सतगुर मेल मिलावे सब चूके मन की चिंती हर हर नाम अवखद मुख पाया जन नानक सुख विसंति जपो जी हर हर नाम अवखद मुख पाया जन नानक सुख विसंति हर हर नाम अवखद मुख पाया जन नानक सुख विसंति जन नानक सुख विसंति जन नानक सुख विसंति हर जियो निमानिया तू मान जपो जी हर जियो निमानिया तू मान नीची जिया चीज करे मेरा गोविंद तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान जपो जी नीची जिया चीज करे मेरा गोविंद तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान जपो हर जियो निमानिया तू मान हर जियो निमानिया तू मान वाहिगुरु 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 जपो जी वाहिगुरु 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 ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੰਦੀ ਛੋੜ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਤੇ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ। We're so fortunate to have Gurbani and Sangat in our lives. These are the real treasures that we should hold in the highest regards. I don't know if I need to do this, but I'll do it anyway. My name's Chhor. This is Amritpal Singh. We are Kirtan. And we, as always, very blessed to be accompanied by our brother here, Robin Christian, behind me on the bansuri. राम कली महला तेजा आनंद एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद। मेरी माए 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 आनंद पाया मेरी माए आनंद पाया मेरी माए आनंद पाया मेरी माए आनंद पाया मेरी माए 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 आनंद पाया मेरी माए सतगुरु में पाया सतगुरु का पाया सहज सहती मन बजिया बधाया राग तन परवार परिया सबद का वड़ियाया सब दूत गावो हरि केरा मन चिनी वसाया कह नानक बचना निराया धारो बाजे पंच सबद तित कर सपाके सबद बाजे कला जित कर तारिया पंच दूध तुद वास कीते काल कंटक मारिया दुर्कर्म पाया तुद जिन को से नाम हर के लागे कहे नानक ते सुखोआ हित कर अनहद बाजे अनद सुनो बट पागियो सकल मनोरथ पूरे और ब्रह्म प्रभ पाया उतरे सगल विसूरे दुख रोग संताप उतरे सोनी सची बाणी संत साजन पे सर से पूरे गुर ते जानी सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सतगुर रहे आभर पूरे बिनवंत नानक गुर चरण लागे बाजे अनहद दूरे सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सतगुर रहे आभर पूरे बिनवंत नानक गुर चरण लागे बाजे अनहद दूरे श्लोक पवन गुरु पाणी पिता माता तीर्थ महात दिवस रात तोई ताई ताया खेले सकल जगत जंगियाया बुरियाया वाचे धर्म अधूर कर में आपो आपनी हे नेड़े के दूर जिन्नी नाम त्याया हेम सरकत काल नानक ते मुखी उजले कीति छटे नाल जिन्नी नाम त्याया गेम सरकत काल नानक ते मुखी उजले कीति छटी नाल बोले सो निहाल सत श्री अकाल वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
ਤੂੰ ਠਾਕੁਰ ਤੁਮ ਪਹਿ ਅਰਦਾਸ